Welcome back. We live. Black Rasslin Podcast. Shout out to my brother Mav.
What's good with you?
Hopefully the early birds is in here.
Yeah, shout out to the family.
Hopefully the early birds is going to start popping in. I know normally it's at 8:35, but I'm trying to establish that when I say 8:30,
that means somebody here.
You should know that somebody is showing up at the table.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Normally, to be honest, to give y'all we'll pull back the curtain a little bit.
Shout out.
It's people in here.
Facts.
Commenting before the show starts.
Facts. That's a regular. That's a regular.
That's no look. Look
at Alabama. Slow down, Alabama. Let's get it. Let's get there. We wait for the people to come in, but yeah. Things about to happen a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Look, shout out Dora. Dora in the building. Shout out Mercer County. Shout out Antoine in the building. Yeah, you know what? This is what it is. We got to make sure that the people is in the building because
brother. Hold on, cause you got that. How you doing?
Me?
Yeah,
I'm good. I like anytime I gotta get ready to go somewhere, it's like scatterbrain. Yeah, everything's going on. But
hectic.
We good. We chilling. You good?
Hold on, motherfucker.
Well, what'd I do?
But your birthday, you just celebrated.
Oh no! I don't have the photo. I had an amazing lobster dinner while y'all was watching SmackDown. I got to eat good. Got to
SmackDown. Oh,
got to see my mom, which was good. My mom told me she was hot about the ending of Power Book 2 Ghosts. She was like, nah, they need a whole new season. But I'm not gonna spoil that show for nobody. Shout out Shug. Peace to Shug. You real. What else did I do? Just hung out with the family, ate good, you know.
Hold on, you ain't never say Mama Cow was on that gangster shit.
My mom, she watched black stuff and she watched mafia stuff. So like anything black, that's what she watched, and then it's like Robert De Niro. But for
she like a normal
facts. Well, she don't normally like. She watches Sopranos. I don't know what got her hooked on Power. She needed a show, but she started watching Power but she only watched Power and then Book 2, the Ghost Show. She don't watch none. She don't like Kanan or.
I don't
Force.
watch none of that shit. I can't get into it. I don't know why.
This nigga you be on runs.
I like that shit.
Yeah, you be on that fly shit. I mean, this is why this is you.
Price of the brick going up.
That's like, you.
Through the roof.
That's hold up. All right.
My bad. For those of y'all waiting on your package, it's coming.
It's coming. Don't worry.
It's coming. It is coming.
We got you.
When I say I got you, I got you.
He ain't never lied to me when he said he had me. Never. Shout out to the chat. I think it's time.
It's time.
Matter of fact, actually,
pal, go ahead, unloosen it.
Well, I'm saying, all right. So we hit the music, and of course, when you know it's real when. Whew. Peace to the chat in the building. Peace to everybody who made it. Love y'all. BlackRasslin.com. Everything, all that stuff. This week, we got a conversation that, like, legit, no bullshit, is long overdue. I feel like, Math, correct me if I feel like when we really started rocking, when, like, people was like, yo, it's Black Rasslin. Like, I feel like this brother was, because this brother, he's only been doing the damn thing for 5 years. It's only been about so long. God damn. But over that time frame, you've seen him, they call him the Jet. You see him doing what it needs to be do to prove that he's a Jet all over. You seen him in AEW. You seen him on Impact. You seen him in New Japan. Shoot.
All the G's up.
You seen him in New Japan.
Down, all over the place.
Earlier this week, this is what I was seeing. My man was so happy to be one half of the IWGP junior heavyweight tag team champions for a second time. He holding up both belts.
Yo, he held both belts.
He said, "Let me put my belt on, and then I'm gonna hold up your belt, Kushida." Him and Kushida, speaking of which, they're gonna be in MLP this weekend, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, doing the damn thing. If you up there, go up there and do the damn thing. You're gonna see, man. Look, he's all over New Japan. He got a lot going on. He was also number 26 on this year's BRP 50. I mean, but you already know the vibe. I'm gonna bring him to the stage, brother Kevin the Jet Knight. Thank you for coming to the Black Rasslin Podcast. Let me hit this applause real quick.
Hit that shit for Cal before he steals
turn
both
it
of your
up,
belts.
turn it up.
Hold on.
Yeah, turn that up.
My fault. I didn't want it to be too overpowering for the people. Let me get it.
He gonna steal your applause too.
Facts.
Come on.
Let me get Kev on the Summer Jam suite. Kevin, how are you doing? You all over. Are you in the States?
Man, I just touched down last night.
Shit.
Got you. I had a feeling. It's man.
No,
just touched down last night. And I'm flying right back out in the morning. So
I was gonna say. I mean, it literally, because again, it was no bullshit. Just this past Monday, the photos was hitting.
No bullshit.
Yes, sir.
You and Kushida did the damn thing again, but then I saw that this was happening this week, and so I'm like, nah, this a traveling man for real.
Hold on, Cal. Hold on. This is my question. My bad, Cab. So you just touched down. What was the first thing you did when you touched down?
Great question.
Hey, I had to get right with a quick little 10-piece.
Oh, we talking chicken or we talking women?
God damn.
I mean,
it depends on who you ask.
Hey, yo. I like that.
Type of show.
I like that.
Kind of show.
You had to get right with the nice little 10-piece honey garlic.
Okay.
Extra wet, so we get right with the laundry. Just get everything in motion for set up for tomorrow. So
that's what's up.
I like that.
Where was the 10-piece from though?
Oh, it's a nice little spot we all call I can't even tell you the name of it. It's a local spot. You know what I'm saying? One of the
in the cut.
wall spots. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to shout the people out. We got to shout them out, man.
No, but Matt, you know what it is.
They call it A1 Wings.
Say less.
But the thing is, it's like A1, like it's only going to show up if you in that zip code on like Grubhub or whatever, because it's only going to be they hours only about 4 to 9 o'clock or something like that.
Right.
See?
They solid.
No, then it's lit. It's lit.
Jet, you touched down yesterday, so I saw you tweeting. Did you catch that Shelton Benjamin Leo Rush match on Dynamite?
I seen some clips. I ain't get to see the whole thing because I've been jet lagged the whole time.
So you jet lagged. That's why you forgot to hit up Leo Rush and be like, hey, you about to get your ass kicked, bro. He might beat your ass tonight.
Nah, I ain't getting him right because I feel like I be in the weight room a little bit, but nah, that boy Shelton be in there working. So my fault, Leo.
Hey, but Leo, that's your man too. You supposed to let him know.
Right.
Nah, you're right.
Next time. You got it.
Next time we got it. I'm about to hit him up on a regular.
But I say you got to get to the group chat early next time. That's great. Nah, but so we talking about, you international at this point. You was just Far East, you about to be up north. How does a kid, you from Atlanta?
Originally from Brooklyn, but raised out in Atlanta. So yeah.
Okay. So how do you go from Brooklyn to Atlanta to 5 years ago, I'm starting to wrestle up in Canada and all these like when did that transition start from Kevin Knight, the regular person, to the Jet that we see now?
To the Jet that we see now, man. Like you just said, from New York to Atlanta to Seattle, it was just already written in the story. So me just moving all over is like I try to do everything in different places anyway. So when y'all first hit me up, 2019?
Facts.
I might have had my first match or something, like still been training. It's crazy. I still got the hoodie and the stickers and everything, y'all. So it's crazy.
Talk about it. I like that. But that's the crazy part, because I think a lot of people they don't understand like how small the community is. Like, and I think this brother right here specifically, like, there's talent out there. If it's black talents, like, yo, nah, whoever that is, we gotta make sure we put the marker on them so we know what's going on. But were you like, what was your thought when did you start training?
When did I start training? I started training the beginning of 2019. I had tried out a couple spots when I was back at home in Atlanta, like QT Marshall School, AR Fox School, but it was just for one day, checking them out or whatever. But then once I got back to Seattle, I had a job in Seattle at the time. I was just looking up, literally Google how to be a pro wrestler, how to become a pro wrestler. And
that was always the dream?
Yeah, that was always a dream. I had a pretty solidified job after college or whatever, but it was just boring. I was like, I might as well do something I always wanted to do. And
computer guy, right? You were a computer guy.
I was in the IT. I did identity and access management. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
It just said, hey, let me. But you was, I guess you was watching wrestling.
Oh yeah, of course.
Growing up,
big fan. I played all the video games, SmackDown, Know Your Role, WrestleMania 19. You know what I'm saying? Like Jeff Hardy was my guy. So
that's what. So when you, I'm gonna jump a little bit. I'm just gonna jump a tad bit. So when you grab both of them tag titles, did you give your brother any of that credit?
Right.
Because your brother, hold on, was your brother the one that got you into pro wrestling?
Of course, he did all the finishing moves to me. He was like, yo, let me try this on you, make sure it hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't want no weak finisher for a creative player, so he had to make sure it was the deadliest one. So I took every power bomb, every rock bottom, every Walter Jericho, make sure he had a good submission move. So I've been selling, I've been bumping since I can remember.
So some of this is to his credit. He gets credit for some of this.
Of course, my older brother, my two big cousins, they would hit everything on me.
Oh, yeah, wow. That's how I go for everybody.
What happened to I got a younger cousin. He went to the service. He didn't try and be a wrestler. We was hitting him with all types of choke slams.
That's wild.
Shouts out to Ronnie. I don't. Hey, I guess some people got some tracks, some people got other tracks. But so you were in Seattle. At a certain point, you hit up Canada. You were training up there as well.
I never trained up in Canada, but in Seattle, I trained at Lucha Libre Volcanica 321 when it was still a thing. Buddy Wayne Academy. Training with Nick Wayne and everybody up there. So, I was just trying to be in the ring as much as I can.
Yeah.
During 2019, I was doing every show I could, doing ring crew, everything. So,
but this came from a background of no amateur wrestling.
Oh no, sir. No, sir.
What sports were you into?
I was going to say
football. Was it just football?
Football is number one. Track and field. I come from a family of bowlers. I'm like a fourth generation
bowler.
So we used to be in the lanes every Saturday. League, bowling, the uniform and everything. So that was my three main sports.
You still bowling?
Oh yeah. Anytime how much money you trying to lose, we get the lanes. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
I didn't know I'm not a bowler at all. I didn't realize it was that deep. Again,
it gets serious.
It's real.
So you're doing train. How does it go from being in the States to like, all right, I'm about to go to Japan.
I'm packing up and I'm heading.
I'm about to be a young lion. Like, what was that? One of those steps that you had in your plan, or how did that come about?
I never saw myself taking the Young Lion or the New Japan route. Actually, a few guys that I trained with, they just told me about New Japan. They said they like athletes, they hire athletes, and you should try it out. I was like, okay, cool, that sounds good to me.
Right.
Like, so I signed up for the camp. I pay my way and everything. I do a drop kick in there, and then immediately Sabata and Rocky Romero come talk to me and want to do a tryout the week after, and during that week they try to kill me.
They try to break you.
Hit me with all the squats, hit me with all the push-ups, whatever it is. Literally living in a pool of sweat.
But they said him. They saw your meeting. It was like, nah, get him right there. Bring him over here. We about to do something.
Now, for sure.
How was that? At the time prior to going to New Japan, did you know anything about Young Lions, and did you know that you would be one of the few, if not first, African American Young Lions?
Like I said, I didn't know anything about New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think the first time I ever saw it was that year, the Super J Cup, when it came to Tacoma. It was the main event was Amazing Red and Ospreay. That was the first time I ever seen it. So I was going in there completely blind, but actually I think that helped me just get into the process. When I did the tryout, I wasn't super nervous or anything. I just treated it like a regular practice. You know what I mean? And then once they liked me, it was like, okay, I could really do this. I took everything in steps.
So
Now, go ahead. Go ahead.
my bad, Cal. We got a question from cousin Jabo. He asked, "How's the training in Japan versus the training in the States? How do they compare?"
That's a good question.
From me personally, I did an LA dojo, so it was Japanese
Yeah.
style training in America. So can you guys still hear me?
No, we with you, baby.
We right with you. We
I
locked
didn't know
in.
if my thing was locked out.
You
But
good.
the biggest thing that they focus on is using your voice in practice. Like a lot of times when you watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, the crowd is real quiet. They're not being all rowdy and just like American crowds or even lucha crowds are. They're really sitting there watching your technique and everything. So it's like not only you got to be nice with the technique, your voice got to be, you got to show that passion, that emotion. So that's the biggest thing they stress in practice, just letting out your voice. And me being like a naturally shy, quiet guy, it was like a way to just release everything, you know?
Ah,
Yeah. So it was a whole different experience from the American style.
Normally, when you like the very quiet, shy, kind of timid people, when you super dope in one area, like
Mm,
sports or whatever, you tend to start showing out. Is watching um is watching Deion Sanders, because I think
mm,
he says Dion,
that's the guy.
and
That's the guy.
Cameron. Did you start to channel them when you knew you were dope over here and you like, you know what, I'm gonna start showing out? Is
right.
is are those the two people that made you channel that part of it?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Seeing how confident they are in their abilities definitely helped me just find that in myself and express that and how I want to be shown. You
Mm.
know, just I love seeing confidence in people, and it's I want to show that through myself too. So it's seeing how they do. It's like okay, I like how they do it. Let me put my little spin on it and everything. So it's just finding yourself within that process.
Mm. Well, I mean, I guess that kind of leads to because at a certain point you went from a young lion to now. I'm good. I believe it was probably around the time of the Super Juniors a couple of years ago.
Yeah, almost 2 years ago, my first
Yeah,
tour.
Was
he was busting ass. If you ain't know,
well, and I think I do also feel like outside of us and like outside the people that know about what's going on in the scene, being in New Japan on that type of level with the Kushida is going to put your name in front of people no matter what.
For sure.
What's that relationship been like with him, as one half of the Jet Setters?
Man, Kushida's been nothing but supportive on my side. That man is a legend,
Mm-hmm.
like
yeah,
a legend in the game. I don't even know if he knows how big he is.
Mm.
But he just so he doesn't even know how much I watch him, how much I pick up from him, just like his mind for the game, how he approaches just a wrestling match. Period. How he approaches, how he carries himself, how he warms up, how he
Mm-hmm.
takes care of his body. I watch everything, and yeah, I just pick up on so many different things and just learn from his mistakes and take his way of doing things, just put it in my flavor. You know what I mean? 'Cause we come from two separate, completely different cultures, but we still understand each other. You know.
Right.
So it's an amazing connection that we have, and the fact that we've been doing it for almost 2 years now is time flies.
There was a clip before you guys, again became two-time junior heavyweight tag team champions where you went to the backstage, you was about to cut your promo, like you could see between the two each
For
this is a
sure.
black dude from America, this is a straight up Japanese legend, but y'all there's a rapport there, but it was one
Yeah.
thing because Kevin Knight said, hey, we about we about to get them white girls. He said, soon enough, we
wait a
about to
minute,
Come
get
on now,
them
we playing in the
snowballs.
snow.
wait a
Come
minute.
on, it's about that time.
I was crying.
What it's that time.
He said we about to get them white girls. I said okay, no, but what's that feeling like? Because I mean, we're rolling into another Super Juniors, very soon. What's
Yes,
it
sir.
like? What's your mind state now compared to 2 years ago, teaming with Kushida, going into a Super Juniors tournament?
Man, they say you either gotta pick a body part, whether it's your shoulder or your back. You either got a chip on your shoulder or a target on your back. So 2 years ago, last year, we had a chip on our shoulder. We were just trying to prove ourselves. We just were put together, thrown together as a random tag teams. I'm still a young lion, so it's like just a lot we got to throw at the table. We got to let people know that we serious. And then we just won the belts a few days ago. Now we got the target on our back. So it's like we see it from a whole different perspective. Everybody in that tournament gunning for our position. So it's just we got to establish we the top dogs. Like we the ones that's running this division, and the ones that's the ones to beat. It's a whole different perspective.
Talking about whole different perspectives and being in Japan outside of pro wrestling, like what was the time frame of your last stay when before you just got back?
2 days ago. 2 days ago, I think we did the event Monday, flew out Tuesday. You lose a whole day.
Yeah,
flying over, coming back. So I spent a whole day basically on a plane, and it was the same time, same day by the time that I left, but 15 hours passed. So
God damn. Do you get? I mean, have you gotten time to like really spend time in Japan? Like, what's that experience like? Being a totally different environment and experience.
Right.
Being black in that environment.
Man, it is so interesting. From the first tour where it was 3 of us, it was me, Leo, Chris Bay. Everywhere we would go, we getting shout out to them. We were getting stares at wherever we went. Asking us, are you guys basketball players? That are you superstars? And we're like, nah, we're just doctors. We're just here on business. We like to mess with the people.
Right.
But it's cool because you get to connect with a whole different culture. Like we go to the clubs. They playing nothing but hip hop music. They playing 50 Cent. They playing Lil Uzi. They playing, Young Thug and all that. So we in there, we lit, we turned. So
it's perfect for y'all.
Yeah. So and just like we're just having a great time. Of course, they're playing the EDM dubstep, so you got to get used to having different vibes and stuff.
Right.
So it's just cool just seeing how different cultures interact with each other. And then the food is crazy too. Like we bonded heavy over the Indian food, over the ramen, over the yakiniku. Everything is crazy over there. So.
What's yakiniku?
Yakiniku is kind of like Korean barbecue. You get the food and you cook it right in front of you for yourself. So that thing hitting. They be hitting. The steak go crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna because there's the one that was the Ribera Steakhouse.
Ribera Steakhouse.
You went over there?
Yes, sir. My first tour, we all went there. They didn't have no jackets the time we went.
That's trash.
Nah, for real. But Ribera's solid. So just seeing how they view, obviously there's not many of us over there, black people over there. So when they find out that you're a wrestler, that you wrestle for New Japan Pro Wrestling, it's a blessing. I go shopping all the time out there, and they want me to take pictures. They want to come to a show. They want to do all of this, and then so it's just cool just seeing the admiration from a whole different culture.
Facts.
They don't know anything about where I come from. I don't know anything about where they come from, but it's a mutual respect.
Word.
Yeah. So it's amazing.
Word.
No, kick your shit, Cal. Go ahead.
Because I was going to say, this ain't going to be on Japanese soil, but I mean, speaking of your affiliation with New Japan,
yes, sir.
You got. I see you cooking. We'll talk a little bit about you cooking in the cities, but like, what's this all about? This David Finlay was that guy for a minute. It looked like they had talk about targets on the back. He was supposed to be that one.
Yeah, do he owe you one?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I took his little war puppies belts.
This is wild, man. Yeah, he owed you one.
The tag belts. Yeah, he definitely owed me one. For what he did to me in DC, hit me with the shillelagh. First time I ever been hit over the head with that. So
yeah, I saw that. Shit was sitting there. Christ.
I still got a bad taste in my mouth. So we got the tag title belts now. So I'm definitely gunning for that global championship. It only makes sense for the Jet to be a global champion.
That's what I like to hear.
Start of something that we might see.
Man, I was watching the Jet because shouts out to Ashe. Ashe put up.
Hold on, Cal.
What I do?
Hold on.
Wait,
because for about 5 shows,
Ashe.
It's been about 5. Hold on. It's been about for 5 Black Rasslin shows. I spoke about how I have never seen an individual jump over a clothesline.
Oh man.
That was a moment. Nah, that was a moment for
I'm
real.
trying to figure out. And I'm asking everybody. I say, "Yo, this motherfucker jumped over a clothesline."
Over the clothesline.
But
AI is
no,
crazy nowadays, ain't it?
what?
He
How?
said what?
Facts.
How
I mean,
did you-
it's the jet, but how?
Yeah.
How?
Right. The name speak for itself. I can't really explain too much further. You know what I'm saying? So you
I'm
get
gonna
what you
accept
see.
it. I'm gonna
Well,
accept it.
Cause I watched the other day. I watched the this is gonna sound crazy. I watched the Undertaker Mankind Buried Alive match from 1996. But there's a moment. I wish there was a moment where Taker jumped over the guardrail. Like people be, but like I mean, he wasn't over a clothesline, dog.
Undertaker nice with it. People sleep on Undertaker's athleticism.
Hold on, he ain't jumping over no clothesline. I don't give a god what he did. When I seen this, when I say mesmerized, I said,
man.
This thing,
he been talking about that.
He is that one. I have never seen this, and I know you talk about. I've watched so many fucking. Pardon me. I watched so many interviews of Kevin Knight, and I always hear Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy. Yes, sir. Jeff Hardy. Yes, I can see the inspiration in what he don't do no shit like this.
Nah.
I have never seen like the drop kick is rare that you see somebody that pull off one of these drop kicks.
Right.
The fact that you jumped, I'm sorry, Chad. The fact that
he been on that move for a minute ever since you did it.
My bad.
For sure.
My bad.
No, you good. And it's crazy that you say the Jeff Hardy thing. The main reason I was drawn to Jeff Hardy was just because of his entrance, what he wore to the ring. He didn't look like a traditional wrestler. I liked him because he was so different. It wasn't really much of what he did in the ring. It was more so just how he presented himself. Like that's what really drew me to pro wrestling, just how you present yourself, the presentation. So of course the high flying moves he did was cool, but I just liked him because like he came out with the face paint, he wore something different, the arm sleeves. Like that's the reason why I liked him. So
I'm gonna say this. And it's not the short Jeff Hardy. We love Jeff Hardy.
Of course.
Shout out to Jeff Hardy. But I never looked at Jeff Hardy and said, this nigga cool. Excuse my language. I've never said Jeff Hardy is cool.
You also
Cal, when I see Kevin Knight, it's only a handful of these motherfuckers. I'm like, yo, this nigga cool.
Facts.
When I saw Kevin Knight,
it's the shades.
I'm like, all right, he cool. And then when I saw Kevin Knight, I said, yo, this nigga super cool.
Well, because
you got that they don't have. And I sit there and talk about superior athletes. Like it's a lot of black professional wrestlers who are superior athlete.
100%.
You are a superior athlete, but it's not a lot who are superior and cool.
Right. Like
it is fly.
It's like on the game where, like, if you create a character, if you put too much of a stat on one, you lose on the other. You know, you got to you be having to balance it out. But because me, DDM, and Mimi, we was at a Jobber Slam 4. And I already knew. I was like, "Oh shit, I'm about to see Kevin Knight live. He about to wrestle Yaya." And then
JTG pull up.
JTG pull up like, "Hey yo, we making it a triple threat." I mean, seeing you and Ashe again, I was just watching the 6-man toward the world title qualifier match from their last show. But seeing you and Ashe, seeing you all over this year in particular, has it felt different? I mean, do you feel like you're on a different level, not just wrestling, but also in terms of like your name and your status, kind of in the game 5 years after you really started getting at it?
Word. I just feel like I'm improving every time I get in the ring. That's the best thing I could say. And I feel like I've been improving a lot in the ring because I've been working on myself personally, inside, outside the ring, just like life experiences. I try a lot of different things. I've been doing acting classes this whole year.
Oh, word.
Been getting into my guitar. So I've just been doing a lot of different avenues, and I feel like that's been helping shape who I am. and that's just been helping me express myself through wrestling. So I just feel like the more I learn about myself, the better I do get in the ring. So that, to answer your question, that's how I feel. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to a lot of the stuff going on. I just pay attention to how people react to me in person, what people say to me in person. That's how I react. Social media is whatever. But when I see people like showing love in person, and people were like Shelton Benjamin or Swerve wanting to do my theme song, or like me chopping it up with all different type of people, it's like, okay, yes, I am being known. Yes, people do know about me. So it's cool just being in those talks, being in those conversations.
Word. You mentioned a couple people. I know you've been wrestling this year. Did you have any favorite matches this year? I mean, we towards the end of the year, and you look back in
Man,
2020 for like, yeah, that was one of them ones.
one of them ones, man, I got to go back to Sakura Genesis.
Okay.
Back in Ryogoku Sumo Hall, it was a three-way between us, Catch 22, and the War Dogs. If you haven't seen that one, check it out.
Word. Okay.
Check that one
check
out.
that out.
It was dope. Action everywhere. Shelton Benjamin just did his thing with Leo last night, but we had a good one about a month ago at Defy.
Yeah.
So yeah, check that one out. I think it's streaming on their website.
I believe
so
so,
those probably
yeah.
like my top two this year. Just like those were parts this year we could really feel energy in the moment. You know what I mean? You just get lost in it. So those two was like, okay, I'm here. I'm here now. So
I like that.
word.
Cal kind of took what I was going to ask. I know you. I saw you talking about one of your favorite matches. Now, like since you've been wrestling, is not that you've wrestled in, but that you watched was Ospreay Naito. Do you have a match that you feel like compares to one of your matches that you would say this is my Ospreay Naito?
Man, first of all, Ospreay and Naito, another level. Like the storytelling, their execution on everything, the stakes of it being in the G1 climax. You know what I'm saying? That environment is bar none. So it's even hard to say something compares to that. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like my moments was like that. It was definitely one I had with Moose last year.
Okay.
On Impact. Just a great fight from understory. Again, a few weeks ago with Shelton Benjamin, a great fight from understory. And me and Speedball Mike Bailey always put on classics. So
yeah,
we had a couple on TNA and on the All-Star Festival last year in Philly. So those is my top. And I'm like, I felt great about them because I'm a very, very, very hard critic on myself. So, but those few is like, okay, I'm happy with that one. I'm happy with that.
I'm gonna be honest. You stop listening to yourself. Start listening to me. Start listening to me. Because when I say you doing what you supposed to listen to me. You know what I'm saying?
Say no more.
Don't
kick them out yet. I got one last.
No. I got. I mean, we almost there.
We here.
We almost there. But I mean, you because you've mentioned a lot of names. You wrestled a lot of big names. Do you have like a Kill Bill list of like, yo, these are the people that I need to have those matches with that you haven't wrestled so far?
You wrestled Mustafa.
Mustafa was a great one too.
Yeah.
We could use a little bit more time because I feel like we didn't get to showcase everything.
I didn't. You didn't.
But it's a little teaser.
Right.
And that was over 6 months ago. So I've improved so much.
Right.
So much.
Right.
But honestly, Kill Bill list for me personally, no. I feel like is there anybody want to step in the ring with the jet? You know what I'm saying? I like to flip it on people. It's not really. I don't really want to see how I compare to other people. I compare myself to the mirror. So that's how I'm feeling.
That's that Deion Sanders shit. Keep talking that fly shit. Talk that shit.
That makes sense. That makes sense now you said that.
So my cousin, he's backstage. He's chilling.
Shout out.
But this is for him. I think I heard somewhere where you're a Better Call Saul fan.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Oh yeah, big Better Call Saul fan.
Okay.
So I just want to know, did you finish the series before we go?
Did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the dynamic between you being a younger brother, can you relate to the dynamic of Saul and his brother? I just wanted to know how you felt about that. Could you relate to Saul? or Jimmy?
Man, I'm gonna say I'm a middle child, so I can relate to both of them. To Charles McGill and Jimmy, because I've been both the older brother and the little brother, and my older brother is, trying to be a father figure to me, and me doing the same to my little brother. So it's like I understand both dynamics. So I definitely resonate with a lot of what Charles has to say, but Jimmy is like, that's that dude. He's undeniable. Like.
Word.
He could talk his way out of a telephone booth. Like his talk is crazy.
That is a fact. So here's my second part to that question.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been watching the series called The Bloodline, but there's an issue with Jimmy and Jay.
Oh, okay. So you talking about that bloodline? Word. I didn't know you were talking about Disney Plus or something.
That was good.
Yo.
With Jimmy and Jay, how will you feel? Can you relate to either one of them? And whose side are you on? And should Jay kick Roman Reigns' ass?
I'm gonna have to get a whole recap of everything.
You know what? No, I never talk.
We'll have to have that conversation another time. We will have to have that conversation another time.
So I'm always with Roman Reigns, so I don't know the whole backstory and everything, the details, but gotta put.
Makes sense.
I gotta put my ones up.
Put your ones up. You gotta put your ones up. I respect it.
You got the wrong one. Yeah.
Jet, we could I think we're gonna stick a pin in this because I think especially after your next couple dates, maybe after. So we're gonna have to have another conversation about what's been going on in the next 6 months of your career. Appreciate you coming through. Before you get out of here, shout out where people can find you online, your social medias, whatever you want to shout out.
Yes, sir. Shout out. I'm on Twitter, X, whatever it's called, Meta, Facebook, Instagram at Jet2Fly with 2 Y's. So yeah, hit me up on that.
Follow him.
Follow him for real. Cav, for real. I'm glad we was able to finally get this interview in
long overdue.
Long overdue. Thank you for coming through. Safe travels. Go beat their ass up at Maple Leaf, and then best wishes to you in the Super Juniors and everything. Thank you for coming through. You gotta go. Next time.
Appreciate y'all having me.
Thank you. We'll talk soon. Man. Peace. Look at that. Oh, you not on the Summer Jam screen. Look at that. Good.
Jealous?
Good. Me? That's too loud, huh?
Yo, what you been tanning?
Hold on. Yeah, he be in the back. He be chilling. Look at this.
It's the championship skin.
Look at this nigga.
Oh, you glowing?
Yeah, it's this championship skin.
Shouts to y'all. Welcome back. We back. DDM.
Hey, how's it going? I'm glad I didn't do the Kevin Knight interview. He is so fine. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's what you came in with that.
He was in the chat with that. Him and shout out Peeps.
I
Yeah,
wasn't gonna say nothing at first, but somebody in the chat had pointed it out. And between the
He gave you a license to horny.
Between the skin and the voice, and then the nigga plays guitar.
He said he been working on himself.
He taking acting classes. He know what time it is.
Creek from the beach.
Shout out Creek, yo. Hold on, let me get the DDM. You remember seeing Kevin Knight in New York when we went to the show?
I did. Remember Bianca Belair?
Yeah. he really worked on his Yami. Shouts out the Guardians. What's their status right now?
They just
won.
They just won. I saw they had advanced.
No, they going after this.
Don't worry. Nah, baby. You say no. Yeah, we at the house, baby. You know what I mean?
It ain't over.
Don't act like that.
No, it's gone.
Shout out. Actually, brother fam, can you move? Because people saw DDM outside of a store, and it's official. That actually shout out.
Ain't that some shit?
Shout out Dastardly DDM for sending the hardware to the rightful owner. That was a new UPS store, DD. Like it had.
Oh, plus, I only go first class. I'm not,
bougie nigga.
First class.
Yeah, that's him.
Bougie.
I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad because
that nigga line. It was chicken bones. It was chicken bones and vowels in that goddamn box when I got it.
First class.
That's first class.
Yeah, first class.
It smelled like Pennorth when I got it.
God damn.
UPS store box and everything.
It's a new it's new box. It ain't the old.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit in that box.
My bad.
You still have that box?
I do. It's my living room.
Damn, that's a new shirt you got?
Yes, this is the Javon Evans merch.
Oh shit! I didn't realize.
WWE shop.
I like that. Mm-hmm. It's something. It's an image on the back too, or it's just like a.
Well, no, they never put an image on the back. It's just like this logo on the back.
Got you. I like that. Actually, I do like that. I may have to grab. I don't know who all is in the. I mean, I know who's in the chat, but I don't know if there's any new people in the chat. Shout out, Lovely. Shout out, fam. Shout out, Kev on stage. And I want a special shout out to the stage crew. I've been since the last since yesterday. It's hundreds of comments. If it's not the clacker, you know what I mean? It's people saying stage crew, SK check-in, blah. Yo. Kevin Fredericks, he got an army.
Listen.
A navy.
They
to the roof.
My niggas. Listen. If it's anybody that is happy,
it's happy.
Anybody that's happy.
That's a happy man.
Man, I love to see this shit.
Yeah.
I love to see this shit because my cousin, pardon me, I don't mean to take no time, but I do because he deserves it.
Facts.
My cousin bust his ass for this.
Facts.
Lovely bust her ass for this.
Facts.
But Lovely ain't here, so I gotta speak for my cousin. My cousin, man, salute to you, cuz. You doing your motherfucking thing.
Facts.
I'ma cry. Fuck it.
Don't start crying.
I'm crying tonight. I'm out of here.
Shout out something else after you're done watching this. And if you
watch
not
something else again.
Yeah, if you haven't checked out that episode with Kevin on stage, watch that after you watch this.
And then go watch the low cube shit. Pardon me, the O'Shea shit.
Facts. Peace to O'Shea Jackson Jr. And there's some Yamis in the chamber, you know. People again. He won line where he said his cousin be working. All right, now that stuff's out the way, shouts out to all that.
We gotta have a discussion.
All right. So I'm a preface. So earlier today, Brother Fam hit the Black Rasslin group chat and was like, "Did Michael Jackson beat Tupac ass?"
Yes, he did. No, that's a fact.
Listen.
And mind you, months ago, I had seen Boo Capone. He was on the Fig, whatever the one dude that used to be down with No Jumper that's got like his own, you know what I mean? He was with them. He was telling this detailed story about how it was some party going on. It was around the time when Pac and Quincy Jones' daughter Khadijah, I don't know, Khadijah. I didn't realize they were about to be married, so this was like right before he passed. Which it would have, the time frame would have been sometime around then. Michael Jackson was at the party, and there's two different stories. One story I heard was that Khadijah was sitting on Michael's lap and Pac approached Khadijah and like grabbed her or said something wild. But I've also heard stories where like Mike just saw the way that he was interacting with Khadijah and Mike's thing. I mean, obviously Quincy Jones, he produced all that classic Michael material. All the shit you know and love, the Thrillers, the Bads, all that stuff. That was all the Quincy Jones. So he was like, I looked at her as a niece. Mm-hmm. And as the story goes, I guess he approached the nigga and they started scrapping, like they was on the ground tussling.
See, that's the blurry part.
Do you believe? Chat, weigh in, please, if you haven't already. I've not checked. Do you believe that? And again, because look, some people, MJ was out there cripping like that. My wife, funny enough, my wife had mentioned when I asked her about this. I just posed the question if she'd ever heard the story, and she said she did, and she heard about it today on TikTok. So like, I know it's circulating somewhere. But do we believe that Michael Jackson beat Tupac ass?
So all right, when you said that Boo Capone said it a long time ago.
It was like 4 months ago, 5 months ago, something like that.
It made me believe it because what was main man name? Mr. Servon? I don't know what this nigga name was. The nigga was in the interview. Nigga had he had the goddamn Daddy Warbucks had extra tight there. He said, yeah, so I saw the nigga.
Right.
I saw him. And he said the nigga was there and you know, he said, Mike, you know what I mean? Don't, you know, back up, shut up, get out of my face. And then Mike commenced it on Tupacalypse Now. And so when I see it from two different places, two different wild sources, I'm like,
totally like unexpected. I guess Boo Capone was around during more of the interview. It sounded like he was like really I don't know what his role was, but he was down with Death Row. Like he was just around.
Yeah, he one of them grimy, like
Mike
all the way
Garrett.
around.
They said Mike was a Crip.
Yeah,
Mike from Garrett.
Mike definitely from Garrett.
They said Mike was from Gary, and they said Mike got X amount of brothers.
Mike is from Gary.
Hey,
Mike got all them brothers.
He could fight.
Mike was throwing up them C's, and Mike wasn't a little guy.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They were saying he was like 6 foot 6'2" or something. Yeah.
Pop was a little guy.
Pac wasn't a big dude. Mike being you know what I mean, a lanky along the dude.
Let this girl fool you, nigga.
Oh yeah, nah. Listen, I'm a rough hood. Pop used to go up beside his head, obviously. Man, listen, I think Mike could fight. He got mad brothers.
You Mike.
You gotta be able to fight when you can dance like that.
Well, DDM.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any thoughts on this?
I don't know. I just it's totally believable. I think people, you know, the public is funny. They have these ideas of who people are. This is all a show.
Mm-hmm.
Tupac is a School of the Arts alumni. He is he's that guy. He's a trained actor by profession.
Right.
He's a phenomenal actor. I believe if he had stayed alive and kept going that route, he would have been a potential Oscar winner.
Oh yeah.
His whole and juice is the heel turn and the progression of that character and the way that he did it was absolutely phenomenal.
It's terrifying.
He said, "Nigga, you ready to die?"
Right. So it's not.
A lot of niggas saying they watching that movie for Halloween because he was scary in that.
He was scary. He was terrifying.
I need to add that to the list.
It's not unreachable. I remember reading a story Quincy Jones had said in an interview, and he said that Michael Jackson was leaving his house and he had walked home and he picked up a brick from the lawn and walked home with the brick.
Michael Jackson walked with a brick?
Yeah.
What?
Because he was
a brick, half a brick, whole brick.
What kind?
Price of the brick going up.
Yeah, what kind of
physical.
An actual brick.
Oh, that's definitely a regular life.
Because he was
Pick up a brick and go home.
Imagine you get
I break that bitch down.
Imagine you getting beat up by Michael Jackson and he make all the
Yeah, so I mean, it's not far fetched. I mean, Michael Jackson was a very shrewd businessman. He was very direct.
He was very shrewd businessman. He bought up everybody publishing.
And the way that he talked on screen and the way that he talked in real life is two totally different things. So this is not far fetched at all.
Y'all ever see that clip of Mike when he in the limousine and all the people was around the car going
like
crazy?
titties.
He said, "Look at that titties."
He said the titties, the titties.
Hey, yo, so this is my question to y'all.
Patreon juice watch along is crazy. Well, ask me about that. That's not a bad idea.
So do y'all really feel like Mike spoke like Leon?
Well, a lot of people say that. Like a lot of people who knew him and knew him in real life
Spoke like Leon?
He did not talk like that.
You remember Leon?
Yes, I know who Leon is, but a lot of people who know him in real life. Michael Jackson was crafting an image for the public because he knew what the public wanted to see. It's not about what the public wanted him to be. So it's very, people do what they have to do to make the money that he had to make it. I think Michael Jackson had the vision to say, this is what works for me. This is why Thriller is the biggest selling album of all time, still counting. He knew what sold. And a hood nigga from Gary, Indiana is not going to sell 30 million albums.
I wonder, is that what? So the voice a product of being like as non-threatening to allow success as well? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, think a lot. Like Madonna went from a woman from New York or Detroit or whatever she had a British accent. Kanye switched up his voice a couple of times. Nicki Minaj be doing a lot, but I feel like a lot of them do go through some type of modification of their voice, especially when they hit certain levels of. Just got to watch the interviews to see how they deal with people.
I would love to have caught like the mic, like nigga Mike, like, you know what I mean, like Mike. I don't want to talk to Michael Jackson. I want to talk to Mike. You know what I mean? You know Mike Jackson.
Leon Stompowski. That's what I'm talking about. You don't remember Leon from The Simpsons when brought him home? That's what I'm saying.
Is he the opposite of Big Homie?
He was literally the big homie, wasn't he?
He was the big homie.
He was literally the big homie.
Like, oh shit.
Do I gotta find an image?
And nigga come home and just take his wig
gown
on
and shit.
And they go bald head at the crib.
That's the thing. He had the gown on because he came from that spot.
Came from the hospital.
He was at the Yummy.
Nah, really, I'm tired of these niggas. I'm mad to get this money.
Look at Leon.
I'm sick of him.
Look at him. There you go.
He grabbed his Yummy. He had a monkey.
He was grabbing his monkey.
Hey, yo.
He's in his hand.
Yo.
It's in his hand. He was in the place. This
is disgusting work right here.
This was the show, and he voiced the character. It was somebody that voiced the character.
I think that was somebody. That wasn't mine.
It's your birthday.
See?
Yo, that's
happy birthday.
All right.
That's the one. That's the one. I think. Yeah, Mike did that, man. I think, to be honest, I think the truth more so is probably the beginning of that story is true. Pop was talking crazy. Mike checked him. Mike might have jacked him up.
Shut up.
And it turned to them fighting throughout the entire house.
Turned into a big tussle. And Mike, you know what I mean? Mike being a bigger guy, he always gonna be looking down at the nigga, so it seemed like he got the best of the nigga.
Yeah, he over there. I mean, he ruffled up his blouse.
You think that nigga Mike had that tape on the end of his fingers for? Smack a nigga.
Yo, I ain't getting smacked in here and the nigga say,
yo, if the nigga
I'm sorry.
Yo.
Is that the name of the episode? How do I say
yes.
BRRRRRAT.
Hold up, yeah.
Hey, brother DDM, question, man. You went out there and seen the GOAT.
Oh yeah, Stevie Wonder.
Right? You seen the GOAT. Now I've seen the GOAT in that same arena.
Did he see you?
DDM. Yeah, he definitely saw
DDM right there.
That's him.
He get that nigga the head.
That's you off them buses.
That you off them buses is crazy.
He saw you, didn't he? That.
Oh no, he was. Stevie Wonder is hilarious. He is. Has quite the sense of humor. It was one thing that stuck out to me. He was like, I'm looking at the wrong harmonica. He put it down and then put the right harmonica and started laughing.
I'm looking at the wrong harmonica.
And then he said one time he's like, I see what I want to see. And I thought it was hilarious, but I had great seats. Shout out to my good friend. Shout out to Silver Fox for the great seats. And it was just, anybody who knows me in real life knows that I love Stevie Wonder. I had all of his records on vinyl.
Word.
I met him one time at this place here in Baltimore, Land of Kush. It's a vegan soul food spot. Me and my friends.
The ribs is fire.
Yeah.
What are they?
The ribs is salty, but live your life.
Fire.
But I had met him.
Cauliflower?
You gotta spell a rib with an extra B.
Yeah.
Legality.
And he was eating there. I think he has family in Baltimore or something like that. But he was it was great. He played what he needed to play. What was really interesting was it was really a political stumping. He was really doing political stumping because it had the concert had political tinges to it, but in a Stevie Wonder way. Gotcha. His merch was amazing. So
shit!
The bags.
That's hard.
Very modern, very up to date. We have the right people working on the team.
Right.
He approved those.
Back. This is in Braille.
Oh wow, that's ill.
And then I got a T-shirt as well.
I was gonna say, is that image on the shirt?
Well, he had a shirt with that image, but not big bitches. You had to be a 2X and under. I'm a 3.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, the shirt right here.
That's in Braille too?
And raised Braille as well.
That's hard. That's hard.
And,
I like that.
And then the back of the shirt. So it's a once in a lifetime thing.
That's fire.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this concert. It wasn't no foolishness. I had front row center seats. And it was nice to be in a crowd of adults who had class, who had manners,
not a wrestling,
it's just a different vibe. Those people are there to have fun and really, the Obamas came out, they walked out, that was a gag. So we sitting there and Stevie like, I got friends, and you see Stevie walking out and Michelle and Barack escort him to his seat.
That's crazy.
Wait, what city was this? What city was this, Dad?
This was in Baltimore.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah, you wasn't. You don't know the Silver Fox.
Niggas, hey Steve, Steve, level with me.
So he walked out, and it was great, and I loved it because another thing about the audience, it was the real money in that audience. It was real Gucci belts. It was real tailored suits.
Got you.
Italians was in the building. Little Italy here in Baltimore. Little Italy. The Italian was in the building.
Yeah.
Hey girl, the Italians was in the building. And they was sharp. They was dressed to the nine. The mob was in the building. Not saying all the Italians in the mob, but they was there too. It was interesting seeing the people who went to that show, and it was really interesting me being a younger person in that crowd,
right?
Walking, and they escort you to your seat when you have premium seat in CFG, and they're like, oh, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? My friend Zach, he's a comedian. He had got his mom tickets. I was in section 2. They were in section 3 next to me, front row. Zach is also a really talented musician. So the musicians were in the building, not the social media people, not the people who make beats or the people who,
I'll sample Stevie.
Like the players, the musicians, the songwriters were in the building. The band was spectacular. It was a bunch of seasoned older people. They've done this a million times. not a bad note. And it was very interesting to me to watch a 74-year-old man and his one special guest do a 3-hour show and not one bad note. The mic was on. The band was on. He had an orchestra there. He had a string section.
Damn.
He had, live drummer, of course, band. He had his background singers to do all of the low parts, Sarita and Denise Williams and Minnie Riperton used to do. And he had this young lady, Shalea McDonald, who played Dorinda Clark Cole in the Clark Sisters biopic. She was his special guest, and she could sing her fucking ass off. Let her do a couple songs, a couple solo songs. She covered some Carole King and things like that. But it was great. You know, they shut the city down, and we was wondering why the traffic was so crazy and like standing outside of CFG.
Right.
It was just a lot of, we were all like, why is it this hard to get in here? Because it's usually not. And then sitting out there, when you hear Stevie, I got friends, and he walking out there with the Obamas, Michelle had on a nasty reboot too. And you see them coming out, and I just felt so honored and so blessed, to see somebody who has shaped the soundtrack to my parents' lives, but not only my life, and to see have the honor. I saw just the second time I saw the Obamas. First time I saw them was at the African American Film Festival in Martha's Vineyard with Questlove, and I got to see them this time. So it's always an honor to, especially as a Black boy from Northwest Baltimore, to be able to have these opportunities. But it was an evening I'll never forget. It was a night to remember. And it showed me the power of music and how even in this climate, and because there were definitely some Trump voters in that audience, right?
Well, but he bring out everybody.
Stevie Wonder is of a different caliber,
right?
And he just did what it was fantastic, phenomenal. 10 out of 10 recommend.
I was gonna say that sounds amazing. It do sound like I'm too poor to show up to that Stevie Wonder concert.
I didn't say that.
Wasn't that humble?
Exactly what you said.
You didn't have when you started talking about string sections and Obamas and shit. Yeah, I would have looked weird standing around that area. Like, hey, yo, play Inner City Life. Come on, let's go. I'm trying to hear some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
In my Target T-shirt.
Right. My Nike Dunks and shit, like, you know.
So Ben, so it's interesting. So quick. Ben said, "Where's my favorite Stevie album?" I have a soft spot for the very underrated In Square Circle. In Square Circle, Ben is you know I love Venderella. Is one of my favorites. It's not my favorite, but Never Be Your Son. He did do Overjoyed Ben, which was like amazing,
classic.
My favorite Stevie album, I actually have a tie of two, and that is Talking Book and Music of My Mind, because Talking Book, I love his version of You Got It Bad Girl, and Music of My Mind has Superwoman on it, and
Stop it.
Looking for Another Love, and
Stop it.
In his classic period are amazing and stuff. But In Square Circle is definitely a good one.
He be hitting that shit. I said Inner City. Like, Inner Visions is my favorite Stevie Wonder.
Inner Visions is another good one.
I really like that album.
He did some cuts off of Inner Visions. He did some cuts off. He touched the hopper. He did Superstition, I Wish, Living for the City, and the thing that I loved about it, the record sounded like the record on the record.
Facts. Songs in Key of Life is a classic.
Songs in Key, he did a couple songs off of Songs in Key of Life. Songs in Key of Life is like when you think about Stevie classic period. So you have
it's a lot there.
Talking Book, Music of My Mind. I think it starts with Music of My Mind. Then you have Talking Book, Inner Visions, Fulfilling This First Finale, Songs in the Key of Life. I mean, he went on a hell of
July.
Right. Well, Hotter in July isn't included in the classic period.
Damn.
But that tear from Music of My Mind to Songs in the Key of Life, Stevie won Album of the Year back to back 3 times. And when you think about at the Grammys, and when you think about, to put that in perspective, the contenders in that bunch, just to name one, was Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
See, Stevie,
He beat that.
he was like for when the Grammys are trying to be prestigious like the Oscars are. Stevie Wonder's that guy to be like, hey.
He went on a 3, like it was to the point where when Stevie would release in the 70s, and people have to remember he was in his early 20s when he kicked off that classic period.
Right.
He's making these albums in his 20s. Mm-hmm. And 50 years later, they're still regarded. So, and that's why I have a hard time when, you may have won Album of the Year more times than Stevie Wonder, Taylor Swift, but I'm looking at your.
All right, yo.
Looking at your.
How do we get to Taylor Swift now?
Because it's very important. It's very important because we live in an era, we live in a time right now where people love to. Everybody wants to be the greatest of all time, and we use that icon word very loosely. And it's easy to be an icon when you're competing against artists who do not have the budget that you have, and they're not producing at the level that you're producing. You're the only one. So are you like Elton John can say, I lost Album of the Year to Stevie Wonder songs in his life. Stevie Wonder can say, I beat Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, which has Candle in the Wind, Benny and the Jets.
I thought it was the Butcher.
Okay.
Benny and the Jets needs to be on the white people music
that
list.
Benny album, that Benny and 38 special come out.
You know what I'm saying? This is the level of competition that you're facing.
I thought you were talking about the Butcher.
No, so this is classic versus classics. It's just different. So I think it's important because especially in Black America, we have a tendency to disregard legendary people, and we are very, what have we done for you lately? And I'm going to tell you this, they're never going to do that to Reba McEntire. They're never going to do that to Charlie.
I will.
Let's
I don't give a damn about Reba.
For real, Kel.
They're never going to do that to Willie Nelson. They're never going to do that to their people. But we love to disregard folks. But the reality is, Anita Baker can show her ass. Why? Because them records is still spinning and generating revenue.
Oh, not literally show her ass.
That's really Stevie Wonder.
I had to change the channel. She showed her real, but I don't want to see that.
But you see these people, and I don't mean to rant, but you see a lot of artists, especially legacy artists, selling their catalogs right now.
Yeah,
for big amounts of money. But the Stevie Wonder catalog, you have to come with at least $1.5 billion to buy that catalog because you're going to make money just off of Happy Birthday alone.
Right. Actually.
That man has made songs that are literally his records are American standards. They will go, they are in the Library of Congress. When the world is ending and the apocalypse come and they put all the artifacts of human life and this era of humanity, Stevie Wonder records will be in that vault. And a lot of people cannot say that.
They can't say that. Damn. Shout out Stevie Wonder.
Yep, shout out Steve, man.
Kevis. Well, you know we ain't watched the BET Awards.
I swear to God, I didn't know there was a BET Awards until somebody said something about it today.
Was it a cypher?
They had
Lil Jadakiss rapping in the car.
Well, yeah, the car Jitsu. It looked like that, but it was just niggas rapping in there. It was T.I. son was in there. But yeah, I don't. I heard people was upset about. Anyway, we got to get to the show.
You watched the BET Awards and you was upset. It's your fault.
Facts.
Yeah, I haven't watched the BET Awards.
Can't. I can't. How can you?
It's just not giving what it needs to give, and I think the viewership and the fact, like I saw on social media, people was like, "Y'all ain't watched the awards." I ain't seen one peep about it because social media wasn't even talking about it.
No, it wasn't online.
It's nothing to see.
Facts.
It's nothing to say.
Thriller, greatest, yeah.
So was it the regular BET Awards or BET Hip Hop?
The Hip Hop Awards.
It was the Hip Hop Awards.
So the BET Hip Hop Awards is a supplemental show anyway. That's not their show.
Well,
like The BET Hip Hop Awards was really made for those ciphers, and then whoever wins the Legacy Award, and that's what that show is.
And it's not even ciphers no more.
Them niggas just gave niggas a reason to dress up.
Niggas in cars. Well, we got.
It's interesting you talk about ciphers because I did another podcast interview yesterday. And there's a freestyle segment, which we know most for those of you at home. Most rappers don't freestyle; they write the shit and they show up, which makes it even worse. Because I go to record my freestyle for the podcast, they're like, "Oh, you got that done in the tape." I said, "Well, it's a freestyle. If I mess up, then it's gonna look bad on camera." And he goes,
"Right.
People redo theirs all the time. We have people do it like multiple times to get it right." And I just thought, how sad.
Hey, word to the wise, FYI, any of you niggas, if you want to come off top of the dome, nigga, I'll murder you. I promise you.
Oh, hey, if you don't start this shit.
You're about to say, no, I'm with that.
Greetings, wrestling fans, and welcome to another action-packed part of All-Star Wrestling.
Piece. Bodymore said Ozone was the best awards. That's when.
Niggas
I remember
at the Ozone Awards.
You go to Florida and get messed up.
The Ozone Award.
Shout out. Welcome back to the Black Rasslin Podcast. If you've been rocking with us for the last hour and 11 or so odd minutes, not only do you know that Kevin Knight is the Jet, but clearly God is still working on us.
Still working.
As always, it's your boy Cal.
Nigga here now. See?
That's really all I got. As you can see, the squad was on the line. DDM.
Hey y'all, it's me, DDM, the EST of BRP. I just got my Rhea Ripley action figure in the mail, so I want to see it.
Yeah,
but
open.
Action figures.
I finally set back the belt, so y'all can shut the hell up.
10 months later, nigga.
The heel turn is complete. We're on.
No, you still a heel.
Fine. Yeah, y'all can find something else to harp on.
I mean, you may. I don't know if that means you not
sent it this weekend.
He sent it the other day.
They ain't talking spice.
It was literally like Saturday.
Like 3 days ago.
It was.
But it's no longer in my possession.
You 6,000 days late.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get a good look at that one.
Fact. Yeah, in a sec. Brother Fam. Oh shit. Champion. Dun, dun.
This nigga here. Look at this bullshit.
I love it. Hey.
He's a piece of shit.
That's what champions do. Wait, let me
bask in it.
Jesus Christ.
I like that. That's good. Shout out to champion. Brother Mav.
Cal.
What's poppin'? Hey, what is this watch?
I'm in your city popping.
Word?
I'm in every town lit up.
Facts.
She gonna leave with that BRP tat if you don't get her. I like the ones that's smart. The ones who pick winners.
Uh-huh.
Take her with me when them white folks invite me out to dinner. Cal. Cal.
What's poppin'? BRT tat is crazy.
Sit back and watch Mav as the lobster crack. I sprayed a Baccarat.
Oh shit.
Your reputation. You can't clean that shit up at no laundry mat, sucker. Damon.
Damn. That's not nice. It's not nice at all.
Damon.
That is not nice whatsoever. ever.
Sucker. Damon.
You suckers. Sorry.
Fresh for 88.
He would grab my pecker.
The grasshopper.
I just hit
Said
it.
sucker.
I don't know if that
I said sucker.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I don't know how much of Wrestle Dream we want to talk about, but I do. We have to discuss. This is a real. The main event is a. This is the changing of the guard. I mean, it went from Bryan Danielson final countdown in to getting. Look at he. This is the worst I've seen Bryan. He looked dead. And then you said what?
He got choked out, Cal.
Well, he got choked out. Let me ask a question. Did you think that the end of this was going to be Danielson getting the ref stopping the match because of a choke out?
No, I knew he was going down.
You knew he was losing.
For sure.
You knew, and I knew that his man's was gonna. Although I don't understand, because no, just stay there. Like he was really talking to Bryan Danielson, like, "Hey man, I'm sorry, I got to do what I got to do."
I don't. So I'll say that I don't know how anybody else feels about this. I don't think we spoke about this actually.
No,
I've not been a fan of Wheeler Yuta.
why?
I'm just not a fan of him. It's nothing. It's not nothing really stands out to me with him.
I was gonna say it's not much to be a fan of. No disrespect, but they don't really give him much.
No disrespect at all. I don't. To me, it sounds like he's one of the key elements in this, and I don't like that part of it. I'm not saying that it's going to be bad because I like the way that they're going. I just don't like. I don't like feeling like he's going to be one of the guys that the light is shining on.
Yuta?
Well, I think he's built up from the mold of what makes Daniel Bryan the great wrestler, not the total package that everybody loves.
I'm with you.
But he's from the ilk of that technical in-ring grappler, catch-can type of performer, right? Now, what makes Daniel Bryan great is he is backpack hip hop meets top 40 hip hop.
He's most deaf.
He's able to do that seamlessly. You know what I'm saying? And it's what makes him great.
Or
it's actually probably more M because of he's done it at the highest.
He at the highest.
Wait, is Bryan Danielson the Eminem of pro wrestling?
He might be Eminem.
That's his hip hop equivalent. It makes sense to me. He's technically nice. He can give you the hits. You know what I'm saying? Giving you hits over years. I mean, it's not like he just got around. Mm-hmm. Was probably a little more not as respected at one point, and it took him a little bit to really start getting that shine.
Nah, I could blame Will or Kivas.
Well, the main I watched this. Shouts out to everybody on the patreon.com/Black Rasslin. I watched this, and at the end of the match, I was like, this was good, but it wasn't the banger that I was hoping for. I figured the final countdown for Bryan Danielson. I liked the way they started, where they was playing the music while they was fighting and everything. Like the music was still playing while they was beating each other's ass. But at a certain point, it felt more like this is the John Moxley next iteration story, and not so much. It didn't really feel like this story was as emphasized with the two of them butting heads, as opposed to it was getting John Moxley to where he's going to be going for the next however many months as champion. Which, and not to say that was a wrong decision, because this wasn't I don't think this is a goodbye from Bryan Danielson. It's more of a see you in a little bit.
But you, pardon me, Ken.
Played with words. They played with words.
But you gave him the closeout, winning the title. That was his closeout.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I think like it would be different if if Moxley came back and his story was fuck whatever's going on, Bryan Danielson, you're the guy. Moxley came back with Marina Shafir, and it was Tony Schiavone. You guys fucking up with AEW, and even to this day, Tony Schiavone still don't really know what that means. He'll mention on a commentary like he said it to me, and I don't know. And at a certain point, it became Darby Allin. You're not good enough. I need to be the guy wrestling Bryan Danielson. And then that became a Blackpool Combat Club thing, and they made it. Because if you look at the opening video package for the match, it feels like that was what they were building, but that was actually more tacked on later in this development of the matches. Because Moxley wasn't even supposed to have this match. He had to beat Darby Allin for it however many weeks ago to even get the title. And even then, it wasn't I need to get this to beat Bryan Danielson ass once and for all. It was I need to get this to win the title so I can right the wrongs of whatever AEW is. Right, that's my main thing. I do wish it was a little more about the two of them and really building that up as opposed to whatever addendum tack on it is. But it could just be me.
I think it's a thing where Daniel Bryan is he's getting out of the way. He knows he can't do this every week, and they kept playing with the words. They kept saying end of full-time competition.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Which, you know what I mean, that's going to always leave that cellar door open. Right. Where, you know what I mean, he can come back and dip and dab. Because his thing is, he loves wrestling, but it's always important for him to, get over the next guy. And I think that's the Wheeler Yuta element of this. Because Moxley is the only person in that company right now with enough cachet and sports entertainer like acumen, like able to be kind of both sides of it, not just being in that wrestling.
Right.
You know what I mean? To give him something, worthy of what supposedly is his last match.
Yeah. No, I mean,
we know better. That nigga ain't. Because when we get that last match, it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be like tears and a wife and it being actually about him as opposed to about really the company moving on.
Yeah, this definitely doesn't feel like it. I don't even think this is an end to the story. Again, I definitely at a certain point could see Wheeler Yuta being fed up with being a part of Blackpool and eventually maybe teaming with, like, he needs to take on Moxley and Claudio and Bryan Danielson returns and he's a part of the match or whatever. Because Bryan Danielson going to be around. The word on road is that he's going to take care of whatever legit neck situation he has. And that'll be the last thing. That's it for him for this year. But there's no plan to him, like, currently shopping around to try and get a deal somewhere else. I'm assuming he'll probably be a with AEW at least for a little bit behind the scenes when he feels comfortable being done with wrestling. But I don't know.
I almost feel like the conversation becomes like, or I feel like what you were kind of alluding to is him getting in that Hall of Fame or last one. And I feel like what'll happen is I feel like he'll get into WWE's Hall of Fame, but I feel like by that time they'll be able to coexist and him be.
You can see some of that stuff in the package and stuff like that, or
like I think they would send him over. Like I would like as a commissioner if they say yo we want to put him in the Hall of Fame,
right?
I think AEW be like yeah that's fine, and I don't think they would have a problem with doing it.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess we'll see. Not Wrestle Dream specifically, but and I'll spoil it now. This man is probably my Black Rass of the week, but on Dynamite, Shelton Benjamin got to have his AEW debut match against Lio Rush. I will say, aside, like there was a noticeable size difference between the two in terms of like, wrestling. Like Shelton is
It's a monster.
I didn't realize
A lot
how
of Leo Rush's matches though.
I didn't realize how little Leo Rush was, honestly, until this match. But
He was next to Shelton Benjamin.
I think that may have helped because Shelton he hit him with the belly to back and he flipped over.
He was ragdolling, buddy.
He was ragdolling for real.
Sailing over there.
This is this is one of the problems that I have with this happening with this John Moxley shit going on.
Because he can only go so far.
Because he can only go so far, and whatever you doing over there,
he can't touch it.
He's bigger than that.
But he ain't gonna be able to touch it.
But he can't touch it because when I see him on that screen, I'm like, yo, it's no way he shouldn't be over there busting John Moxley ass. Right. But the fact that you have something long-term plan with this, you can't put them together.
Right.
But I think that's good. I mean, you got to look. Shelton only got one win, one match on the roster, right?
Yeah.
And you know how they're supposed to. Their thing is you got to earn your way up.
But so.
He about to be put on that track, I feel.
I do not see. Hold on, let me take a step back.
Good.
Shelton Benjamin looks this way. You haven't even seen what Bobby Lashley will look like on that screen.
I was thinking Lashley was going to be debuting last night. I really did.
And there can't be any because they're gonna fuck all those plans up when you see them on that screen, and you like, yo, there's no way they shouldn't be busting. Like, I don't understand how Brody King and the House of Black aren't busting people's ass.
How can they though?
I'm just saying. I don't understand how they haven't bust people's ass for the last two years. But hold on. So with me seeing that, I do not see how you can keep Shelton Benjamin because he looks like them to me, if that makes sense.
After the match, my immediate thing was him and Takeshita. Like
look at this.
No, again, Leo Rush got his ass handed to him in that match, and part of it's because Shelton is a bigger nigga who is also agile to the point where he can just sprint up the ropes and throw this little man off the top rope. Like Shelton's he's a different being.
Yeah.
We talked to Kevin Knight, superior athlete. Like this is the prototype right here.
This is the one time where I will say, and I'm not a big advocate of saying this, that somebody dropped the ball on something. When I sit and see, like, okay, you had the opportunities to do this. You had them with the mouthpiece. Yeah. They have them with the mouthpiece right here. Granted, this is only the first. This is the first.
It was a beautiful first though.
Yo, this is crazy.
It was a beautiful debut for even MVP after he threw Leo Rush off the top rope. MVP said, "Finish him! Stop playing with him and finish him!"
Here, dog.
The fire in his delivery, for real. I got the feeling like when Hurt Business was first really starting to do their thing on Monday Night Raw, just bruising people.
But I don't think we ever felt like that about Shelton in the Hurt Business.
No. It's different because Shelton is in a place where he could actually.
I think this is more of a place that fits who he is. So I don't know if I would call it like a fumbling as much as I would just say a nigga that's way more in ring than talking, but has the sheen on him that knows how to be on TV, knows how to take up space, knows how to come across on camera, not necessarily verbally, but this is a guy who's tailor-made to shine over there. I just don't think I don't know if WWE dropped the ball with Shelton as much as I think I think they got what their system was built to get out of Shelton Benjamin.
Right.
So or if we take a step back, because this is older Shelton Benjamin, like super polished, but still older. When my son was the gold standard, and in his prime, I would say that's his prime, right?
Yeah.
He didn't go. He only went this far. He had the ability to go here, but what happened? They cut him at the knees.
And I think part is because they didn't really like Fan was saying, the way their system is set up. He not one of them motherfuckers that should be advancing for them.
His glass ceiling is lower over there.
I'm
going to be honest. He still has a glass ceiling. I think he has
because of this shit.
Well,
I think he has the capacity to be on screen with any champion that exists in AEW. However, I'm assuming when Bob show up, it's like that Chrysler 300 pulls up next to the Phantom. So it's gonna be tough for him to shine in his own group.
He gonna start losing.
But
he gonna start losing. He gonna start being the fall guy for Bobby.
To who?
Everybody. He gonna be Claudio casting Nola to Jon Moxley. Together as a tag team, they probably dumb nice and kill people. But when it's time that you gotta fight Jon Moxley, guess who you gotta go through? Claudio casting Nola. At some point, you're gonna have to beat his ass.
Now I feel like the thing that they do with those guys, and that's one of the best things they can do over there, is you know what they do with guys like that, other than just like give them the Intercontinental. They send them to Ring of Honor and make them the Ring of Honor World Champion.
Fuck, they may. He's got time. He used to be down there. That could happen.
No, listen. When he was in Ring of Honor, we went down Dew Burns and seen this nigga, and he was bigger than everybody in the goddamn building.
Yo, he's huge.
But yeah, he's great. Shelton is great. I mean, it's a reason why they honored him.
My nigga.
Well, Ratless Steve said, "Be prepared to see him lose to Darby and Orange Cassidy." He was selling offense to Leo Rush. I mean, if we're talking about him being a big dude and looking bigger than compared to some people, him having to bend down for some of them cutters, those are some of the parts of the match I was like, some of this don't really. That's why I want to see him against somebody more his size.
We all know who his first loss is going to be.
Who, Will Ospreay?
Ricochet? Nah, he ain't gonna lose that.
So what they're doing, because what it looks like they're doing is they're building up a long-term story, and they're building it up. They're building the rungs of. They're gonna build these niggas up huge, and they're building these niggas to get climbed. They're gonna be all older niggas, and you know what's funny? We might see Leo Rush come back and join them niggas.
He gonna at least join Yamin.
And we might get that Lashley.
I thought that was going to happen this week. I thought that was going to happen when Lashley would come out, be beating his ass.
But I think they're building up a story to be topped by Swerve. I think that is what they building up to.
Him and Swerve wrestle in 2 weeks. They wrestle Fright Night Dynamite end of this month.
Sorry, I'm not watching that one.
He can possibly beat Swerve with shenanigans.
He's not losing.
He can beat Swerve with shenanigans, but he can't.
It's going to be with shenanigans. It's going to be that. May be the night Lashley debuts. Honestly,
that makes sense. It ain't gonna be straight up.
I could see Swerve getting the upper hand on Shelton, and then it's Lashley come out there and just demolish that nigga, and then they have because Full Gear is coming up in about a month. That's probably gonna be the match.
I'm lighting cigars when Lashley whip his ass.
You might have to watch Fright Night. I'm
not watching that shit.
You might have to. You might have to.
It's funny because they're doing a bunch of stuff. I feel like their whole, you know how like over in WWE, the main event is in two places, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's either hovering around Gunther or they're trying to hover around Cody, and then the bloodline thing is kind of his own thing, right? It's funny because everybody that's like the legit main eventers over in AEW are all I feel like they spread out because they got MJF doing something with Cole. They got Hangman. Even they even got Hangman away from goddamn Swerve. They got Swerve doing this thing. They're bringing in Bob. Like it's like they're a little more spread out. Then you got the Moxley thing, which is also going to be a big, overarching.
That'll be the main story. Yeah,
right. And it's like they're spreading things out. I feel like they still, and I've been saying this probably for months, I feel like they still just getting over everything they chased to have Punk.
Yeah, they're definitely cleaning house. They're definitely cleaning house. Did Moxley?
They love that Jack Perry, don't they?
They Sem asked if Samoa Joe ever mixed it up with Lashley. He wants to see that. I checked Cage Match. Their only singles matches have been in TNA, and we're talking. It's been over 10 years since their main program over there. That early summer. But they first wrestled each other at TNA Bound for Glory 2009. Actually, 15 years ago this Friday, the 18th of October. That's kind of crazy. So I don't know. I have a feeling we'll probably see, like, once Lashley gets in there specifically, whatever horses that got lined up got to be in the mix. He can't kill Leo Rush all the time.
Nah, Murder Hawk gonna get murdered.
All of them. All of them.
And listen,
Wardlow got to come back.
Hey, Wardlow, listen. I'm sorry, Wardlow. They missed it. They missed that window.
They missed
everything. They missed it, and when they missed it, it might be over for some.
At this point, it's a wrap. When Adam Cole comes back, and Adam Cole's thing is, I'm a babyface now because MJF is a heel. When the whole time he was hurt up since this year, he had a whole squad. Like that was Wardlow's thing. Was supposed to be that was supposed to be him in the mix.
Yeah, Wardlow is. Wardlow might have to go to WWE to get something.
They said Wardlow's NXT bound. That's what the chat. So.
I'd pay to see Wardlow and Steiner.
Oh, DDM.
Sure, because Wardlow had WWE superstar written all over him from the minute I looked at him.
Who?
Wardlow.
It was supposed to be Wardlow and MJF, and it was supposed to be like the minion for Adam Cole, and then like none of that happened.
He doesn't belong there. When he had that run with MJF, I saw the star. And they just, I have purposely not commented on this segment because I don't want to come off as an AEW basher or hater. I just speak what it is. The reality is, what I've noticed, Tony Khan has had several opportunities to really push guys and really create a thing. And he'll get people hot and he will cool them. And I just will not understand why he cools certain people. And but you having this Warner Brothers Discovery deal, like imagine had you actually made Wardlow what I think he could have been. Imagine if you had actually, I know this is real hip hop, but you didn't sign a real hip hop deal.
Facts. That's actual facts, though.
This isn't a real hip hop deal that you signed. And I see the proof of it with Ethan Page. Ethan Page has went over to NXT, and I thoroughly enjoy him. And it shows that I get you can't serve two masters, but I feel like you should be booking people based on what the artists and the crowd response and the storyline dictates. And with Wardlow, I was annoyed the whole time. I was in a gay wrestling group because before I joined BRP, there's gay wrestling fans have their own platforms and chats that we talk at.
Shout out.
Every time Wardlow would come on the screen, the women in the group and the gay men in that group, the traction would pick up every time he got on screen. And I was like, this guy's a star. And for whatever reason, I never forget, I forget what match it was. They were outside of a cage or on top of a cage, and it was like this black and white photo. And I was like, Wardlow is it. I'm mad he cut his hair. I don't like the hair, but we can fix that. But I just feel like if he is, I don't know how true that is about him going to NXT or not. But that's
just conjecture, I believe.
Right. I just don't think AEW is the place for him. It's not the place for him.
I think for me, Wardlow, always look out for outlier situations. Wardlow looked like a star when he was next to one of the biggest stars in the company. Aside from the thing he had with MJF, Wardlow's looked like a guy, like most of his time there. And so, and a lot of that's booking, right? You booked away from him. And it's tough when they're almost working against you, right? When the booking, because some folks shine through, but some folks you need that booking. If god dang, if Mark Calloway gets hunkered down with some terrible heart punch gimmick in WWE, we don't care about this nigga doing shoot interviews 20, 30 years later.
Word.
So I think it's just some folks need that booking behind them to match with whatever their look is, and he just didn't get it. And I think a lot of that is just happenstance.
I think it's being crowded. You know, this I don't want to call it a bloated roster because, like, what does that mean? But I just look at certain people, and I think this is what took me out of the product for them. I'm like, okay, I'm following the storyline. Okay, we're going to, okay. And then it just stops. And I'm like, okay.
His was bad. Wardlow's was bad. His halt was bad.
Yeah, it's just, I'm like, okay. And then what? And, you know, I look at things like that, and it just kind of, it's like, you know what AEW booking reminds me of? A Netflix show that looks really good, and you watch the first season, and then they just cancel it.
Yeah,
that's what. And I purposely was quiet this whole segment because I don't want to shit on their product. But
that's why because I had the main issue I had with the Danielson Moxley thing was definitely the way that this story is going. It doesn't feel like. It felt like they did one thing while they were trying to do another, and I think that is kind of it's a regular with AEW in terms of how they book it. Because I don't think you're wrong. I think they definitely will. They'll go with some things that look like their flavor of the month. I think Wardlow's been a big example of that. I think they moved with him when the what was it, the concerto or the concerto or the Powerbomb or whatever. Like the Powerbomb Symphony, thank you. They were all about that when that was a thing, but it kind of, especially when MJF came back, and it felt like that stuff died, and they tried to make him be the first person from that undisputed kingdom or whatever, and it. I think a combination, Adam Cole getting injured and then MJF, whatever, like nobody cared, or they didn't care, and they stopped investing.
Does anybody? How tall is Wardlow?
He can't be. We saw him on the plane. He didn't look that big when we were coming back from.
We did see him on the plane.
Yeah, he looked like a guy.
He's listed as 6'2", 266.
Oh yeah, that ain't it.
He
got to be 5'5".
The thing is,
he gotta be. What was the spear motherfucker ECW? What was his name? What's the little motherfucker? Rhino. You said he gotta be Rhino size?
About Rhino size.
I'm sorry, GD. What you saying?
I know. The thing is, I think that Undertaker get ready to get canceled. I think the thing is, if this interview go the way I think it's getting ready to go.
The Donald Trump one?
Mm-hmm. Is that a real thing?
I saw a tweet about it. I couldn't find more about it. It's
Daily Mail. I'm seeing Sports Illustrated. They're reporting it out. He's set to appear. The Undertaker, I'm glad I ain't buying none of his merch.
Facts.
Ever.
I won a bottle of Undertaker wine one time.
Oh, that's right.
This real estate.
But as far as Wardlow is concerned, I just think he has a look and a charisma and a feel that is just better suited for sports entertainment.
Yeah, no, I agree.
No, and I just think that had he went the NXT route, he definitely would have been great on NXT. He would have gotten the coaching on the mic that he needed, because he's not terrible, but the system in the WWE, I think he could have benefited off of it a lot. He's a good worker in ring. He's not bad. He has shocking agility. I've seen him do some things that has been quite interesting, and he has a look that is quite frankly beautiful. People want to take pictures with him. And beauty is a currency in any arena.
Don't I know it?
It's a currency.
This nigga.
Don't I know it? God damn it!
Outstanding. I'm gonna be honest. About Wardlow. I think the biggest thing about Wardlow is that Wardlow had that moment, right? I think the MJF stuff. Moment.
Okay.
But even with that moment, you give him that belt during that time. I always say this about baby faces. It's about the chase. You get this nigga that belt, and then what? Nobody cares.
Legit question. Did you not think that Wardlow was one of them guys around that time? I thought he was gone.
I thought he had potential, but he still, to me, wasn't MJF. He wasn't a main ball carrier. You know what I'm saying? He was a guy who was one of the guys you're supposed to feed the MJF.
Yeah,
to be honest,
he needs some seassoning. He needs some paprika.
I think for a run, you had to turn that man, and he's played on both sides of the fence.
Yeah, I would like Chad said. I think injury and timing has been, especially over this past year, has been a big problem.
That's the same thing happened to Ricky Starks.
But the problem is Ricky Starks ain't this jacked white dude. But I do think Wardlow could probably be in NXT tomorrow and basically just be Braun Breaker 2.0 or whatever they want to do. Like
that's also a problem.
I'm not saying make him that, but like.
But
that is an issue. Is that there's somebody that's kind of similar to
the thing, and it's a part that I think sometimes the IWC disregards or they overlook when it comes to the general fan base. Wardlow is fucking pretty.
That's all you need.
He is beautiful, and beauty sells tickets to the general public, not the wrestling people.
But to just regular people.
You put that man in NXT, Sean and them, I know that they would put. Look what
I thought that was Karrion Kross.
You know, I didn't.
Karrion Kross wish it was Karrion Kross.
Listen,
but like, look at that. That is like, look at that. Look at that. Look at that bone structure, that Carter, that face. That's an action figure. That's merch. That is an interview on Hot Ones. That is a lot that you can.
Hot Wings.
So hold on, because I don't know if he was out the gym with charisma.
The thing is, when I look at, I'm speaking to polarity and star quality. When I look at that man, and I look at the response outside of the IWC when people would see him on screen, he was always a topic of discussion.
You gotta win. You gotta win at home before you win away. And what I mean by that is you gotta win with wrestling fans first.
But I think
not in WWE.
Yeah, you do. Because look at A-Town down to them.
But I think part of the, and I'm not like skills wise, I'm not trying to compare them, but maybe it could be a situation like a Jay Cargill where clearly AEW, and let Conan tell it, sometimes Tony Khan signing people because WWE not signing them. But I'm not going to subscribe to that theory. But I will say sometimes AEW picks up people that it don't really seem like fits what they're about. Like, there's rumors that Miro's trying to leave his contract, and Miro's definitely he would have been a Wardlow if he was Wardlow's age, like a big dude that can go, that they think should be somebody, but their wrestling company isn't really built for those types of matches every week. Like, at a certain point, a Wardlow, a Miro, a Kill Switch, hope you get better soon, like they get written out because it's Takesha's and Shelton Benjamin's and smaller.
And I look at it, and Math brought up something interesting about House of Black. Brody King, I wanted to see more of him. I should be seeing more of him. And I just feel like, and if this is not your thing, that's fine. But you talk all of this shit about World Wrestling Entertainment and them poaching talent and this, that, and the third, and we're competing. No, you're not, because you're a totally different product. But you have certain talent that do not fit your product that need to be with the other guy. And this is the thing, and I like I said, I've been purposely quiet because I don't feel like arguing over AEW.
This is the loudest purposely quiet I have ever heard in my life.
I'm with it though. No, I'm with it.
I'll let you talk about Wrestle Dream, and that's how
he was out for a minute.
I even went off camera. But the reality is this: for as much shit that gets talked about Vince McMahon,
shit,
Tony Khan is turning into Vince McMahon. You're holding Ray Phoenix and them. They don't want to be there. You said if people don't want to be with you, this, that, and the third, you're going to let them go. But you making them sit. You got talent that could be great, but you don't have a system in place to develop your new talent. You keep signing people who left WWE, but we are the alternative. No, you're not, because you keep signing these people. You're signing these wrestlers who you're not developing storylines.
Yeah, dog.
Nah, keep moving.
You
keep
know,
going.
You're not that House of Black. They have a great look. They can go in the ring. They have presence. Brody King is a monster in my eyes, and you're doing nothing with them. How many times have we sit and watch these same guys? But you got Chris Jericho coming out with his 85th gimmick.
They trying to put that on somebody else. They trying to put that on the guy that just left not too long ago, which is,
like you got him doing his 85th gimmick. And no shade to Chris Jericho, he's a legend icon.
Man, fuck Chris Jericho.
But to me, none of the guys that, in my opinion, in AEW that have been with Chris Jericho have risen to, who is he putting over? Who is really growing from these Chris Jericho factions?
From the factions. That's
who's really growing from these factions?
I don't think there is a lot of that.
Nah, he cut everybody just started dangling everywhere.
Nobody's growing from these factions. I would even say, what's the two guys that was with the Bunny, the older guy, the Butcher and the Blade?
The Butcher and the Blade. Remember, the Butcher got hurt.
Their promo skills give, but for two older guys, they were in good shape. They looked great. They could have at least been like the APA. I know I'm digging into this. The APA of AEW.
You're not talking about the Outrunners, are you?
I don't know who they are. But
no, you talking about Butcher and the Blade?
I'm just making sure because they look similar.
No, I'm talking about the Butcher and the Blade. They were good in the ring. They kept themselves up. They didn't look fake. No shade. They're in better condition than Chris Jericho. And you do nothing with them. And the thing is, how do you expect me? I know AEW is the home of wrestling matches. That's great. But if I'm going to do that, I might as well give that money to the indies.
That's right. I forgot. Daniel Garcia was with him. Pardon me, Dad.
Well, I think that there is definitely some. I think the conversation about trying to be the alternative, especially as somebody who's not really done this before. I think if you don't have what we're realizing 5 years in, Sean Tragedy, correct me if I'm wrong, 5 years in, I think a lot of the time, if you don't really have a firm outline of what you're trying to do, you're susceptible to making some of the mistakes that the people you're trying to be better than make. I mean, I think there's there's been conversations about diversity. There's been a conversation about women's wrestling. There's been conversation about a lot of things when it comes to where AEW is lacking. And I think DDM, one of the truest things you said just there was there are times where you can see, you know, those elements of Vince that a lot of people decry as some of the worst shit in WWE. It happens, and I think part of it's because when you're focusing on one thing in pro wrestling, you end up fucking around and keep perpetuating the same shit that you're trying to avoid.
It's like football, man. It's just like football. These referees, when they come in, they're handed down each week. Oh, look out for XYZ. Look out for XYZ. So if they're looking heavy for pass interference every week, sometimes they're gonna miss a holding call, and a lot of times, and that's gonna happen. That really happens everywhere. It's just like, yo, the industry don't have any really great book tag teams anywhere.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? It's I mean, there are deficiencies everywhere.
Yeah.
And I feel like the things that people say AEW people cry about, WWE niggas are just as worse. The only difference is at least AEW like they own stuff. The WWE niggas like, I hate everything AEW.
I'm not watching nothing, but I may not even watch NXT for some jokers. Yeah.
I'm going to agree to disagree on that, and you know that happens. I think the difference is Tony has been doing a lot of poking the bear, and so when you highlight, at least to me, all of these things that the other guys are doing or that the big guys doing, and then you turn around and do those things, it kind of makes me look at you like,
what are you doing? Yeah.
Okay.
I feel you.
Okay. And the thing is, if you're going to be real hip hop, be real hip hop. Don't be Jay-Z making Sunshine.
Damn.
That's what W was doing for a while.
I think that was the entire CM Punk run. I think that's the entire CM Punk run, which is why they had to dig out. And I think they're in the best shape we've seen in a minute.
AEW?
Yeah. Because you see where everything is going down, and everything isn't like, you start to see, all right, they got this clear storyline that way.
No, they said he looked like Joe Camel. Yo, they said he looked like Joe Camel crazy, when this came out. You don't remember?
No, that image is crazy. They got Full Gear.
It was the blade that was injured. You were right, Sean Tragedy. And Sean Tragedy, I'm not sure what those ribs are made out of.
They got another pay-per-view.
I think it's vegan protein.
Right now, I think Moxley, I don't want to say he's going to be carrying, but I think Moxley's about to be, like, the Moxley story is going to be the I need to tune into AEW story. Everything else,
I think that's the supposed. I think the other thing is going to be the actual good booking.
What
because anything involving MVP is going to be very, very good.
That's what I don't like. I just don't like that Moxley thing is going on with MVP and them coming in.
But I think the good part is they on different sides.
They on different sides, but how long they gonna be on different sides? Because they beating up everybody
the whole time. What you mean?
Mind you, their pay-per-views are spaced out. It ain't like every month they got to do something. Then
I'm with you.
Push it. So it's gonna be a while before we see anything
everybody.
else.
So you mean at no point in time they gonna run into the niggas?
What I'm saying, no. I will say this: that if anything is proven on Dynamite this past week, Blackpool Combat Club is and a lot of people are talking about this because they were beating everybody ass, and there was a point in that segment where 3-4 teams like, hey, Blackpool Combat Club, when they done fighting you, I'ma fight you. But that was kind of that's how we full circle. Love or hate Wheeler Yuta, niggas didn't know Wheeler Yuta's name until he had the match with Danielson. Then he had to have that bloodbath with Moxley, and after he survived that, he then was able to be part of Blackpool. It was all about putting on. So that's probably going to be the A story. I don't know where Lashley and them is going to be. we're going to have to pick up this conversation if they get to the eventual point where Lashley has just been booked to the point where he has to be the guy fighting Moxley. Because that's when we're really going to be seeing worlds collide. Because I don't know how they're going to be able to square up somebody who's so clearly a WWE nigga versus Jonathan Moxley.
I sure hope so, Kung Fu Eddie. I sure hope so, but it's going to be weird.
It's gonna be. It's gonna. Shane McMahon is definitely the leader. That's not the name of the episode, but that may be the situation at hand.
No,
if Shano pops up,
I don't want to overextend our welcome. I'm trying like this. I don't want to say this also wasn't like a big news week.
We did have it. Listen, them 2-hour Raws.
Kung Fu Eddie, what's good?
2 hour a 2 hour Raw. That was a pre-tape because they're in Europe. Yeah, that they definitely said, hey, Crown Jewel's coming on in a couple weeks, just so y'all know. Here's who the women's gonna be, who the men's gonna be. Y'all gonna watch this show?
Yeah, of course. But like for me, these goddamn 2-hour Raws, I'm so used to the 3 hours now.
You used to be asleep.
You don't know what to do with yourself at 10 o'clock.
Go off.
At 10 o'clock, I'd be like,
like, damn, it's over.
I actually like the 2-hour Raws. I think
2-hour Raws good.
These have been like this past week having Tiffany involved and kind of blurring the lines for the whole brand split thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the 2-hour Raws have actually served them better because now it's more condensed story and things are moving along. I think this week they did a lot of storytelling on Raw. There was a lot of promos, but different types of promos, which I thought was interesting.
They do have to figure out how. I mean, because I think you're right where there's a lot of different storylines. I think they're going to have to figure out post Judgment Day and like a lot of these big things, how to make time for a number of these. Because I think losing that hour. They may not like that 10 women tag match from the other day wasn't a good idea, but I think they're just going to have to learn from those mistakes and make better decisions about getting all the shit on the TV.
And I think they will go back. I think once they get to Netflix, they will go back to
3 hours.
3 hours, or at least in a space where if they need to go over the 3, Netflix won't have those because Netflix is a streamer.
Mm-hmm.
They won't have those parameters where they have to. We got to be off by 10 because from this other show has to come on.
Right.
I think that they'll have more space. I did not like Lash and Jakara's entrance getting cut on SmackDown. That kind of annoyed me.
It's gonna happen. That's the type of shit that's gonna happen.
Yeah, for 2 hours.
Yeah,
but they ain't playing on Friday nights. Ain't no overrun, ain't no overhang.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. It's scare tactics. Let's go.
I was kind of annoyed by that, but I will say that those 2 young ladies did a phenomenal job.
Oh yeah,
they did a phenomenal job on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
What's so interesting watching, and not to shift the conversation. What's so interesting watching Lash and Jakara is I didn't know I didn't know what was next for them at NXT.
Right.
Because I was like, where are we going with this? But seeing them on the main roster on SmackDown and on Monday night, I think these 2 ladies might fare better on main roster.
I like their energy on the main roster more.
I think the match with number one, they are examples of what the Performance Center can do, because I say this every time, and this is no shade to Jade Cargill, but Lash Legend and Jakar looked better in that ring. And them girls look better in that ring. And I'm talking purely from ring work.
Mm-hmm.
They look better to me. Even the interaction ringside with EO and Kyrie and Shakara grabbed EO by her hair, I felt it.
I like that stuff. I do like that stuff.
I'm interested to see. I'm not saying they're going to be the bee's knees, But I'm just saying that, seeing them on the main roster, I saw a direction.
I like it. No, I do like see. I like the opportunities that Jade and Bianca being the tag team champions presents, because you're those are directly from Bianca and Jade kind of just being everywhere and opening challenges.
I think the girls speak to the fact that like some niggas is built to be like lifers over NXT. Like I still feel that way about DIY. Yeah. And some people are get what you can get from Sean and then going on up to see Hunter. Like I think that the cool part is some niggas do get sent back. But some people that Triple H love, like DIY, get held on to. And it is what it is. But them girls got to go up. And I think some people just ain't meant to sit down because there's a drastic difference, I feel like, between NXT and either one of those main roster shows. You can't live in the campiness of old school pro wrestling, like a lot of the things that are successful at NXT. You got to elevate, and if you can't, you won't.
100%.
And so I'm interested. I think that, to be honest, and I'm liking the direction of all of the programming. They do have some things I don't like. I think NXT is still my favorite out of the three. For reasons sometimes I can't even explain.
Oh, I agree though.
It is the blackest show.
It is Earth. The blackest show. Yeah. You're getting this week. We got what? Trick, Obafemi, Wesley, Javon Evans, Shanti the Adonis, Jada Parker. I mean, the list really. I could keep going. The list really does. And shit, Ava, she run the show. Like, that's a black ass show for Shawn. Shawn Michaels be running it.
Yeah, and the 2 hour, and somebody a shout out to Coates Villain in the chat. They have mastered making the most out of that 2 hours, where you feel like there's a lot of exposure to a lot of talent, but it doesn't feel like rushed, and it doesn't feel like, okay, we gotta hurry up, we gotta get this done, we gotta fit this in. It feels like they have the perfect balance of promo and in-ring and backstage segments.
Yes. Yeah.
They have it down to a science. And I think that if they're going to be doing these 2 hour formats, then the main roster, now granted, the main roster to me, as far as the editing and things, can take a few notes from NXT.
Yes.
I know we have this new guy doing the camera and all of that. Some of this stuff, I know that it's trial and error, but some of it doesn't work for me. I'm not a fan. I think there's some things that need to be made, some edits that need to be made. I will say Joe Tessitore must have gotten everybody's tweets.
Right. He's doing very well.
Well, and it's also timing.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks in, niggas was like, oh, he's trash, but he's been here for 15 minutes.
Yeah,
I feel like he found his groove rather quickly.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm giving him his 10s because it did not take him long to adjust.
Facts.
He did the adjustment very quickly.
Facts.
Shout out to Mike Adamley.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, I think he made the adjustment fairly quickly. And I'm not going to say I love him, but he's not taking me out of the product anymore.
Oh no, there's moments where I think I'm listening to Michael Cole, like the way he's talking about story in a match. I'm like, nah, whatever little adjustments he made, he really is adding to that show. It'll be interesting to see how he develops as Raw develops.
How heavily produced they are. Like, you remember, like, the stories that we all got into, like Vince being in people's ears. Of course, that's how Michael Cole became Michael Cole, right? But now, you got a guy who's one of your anchors now, and who is, I guess, is Triple H in his ear?
It would 100% be Triple H, but I don't think he's in their ear as much as Vince was. Because, bless you. Mick Foley used to talk about how much Vince was in his ear. He hate to the point where he's like, I can't even do commentary. I don't get that impression from their commentary. It don't always sound like Like if you watch what was that one Netflix documentary, The Wrestlers, where it was OVW with the Al Snow. At the way Al Snow produced the commentators on OVW felt more like what I heard from Vince in the Mr. McMahon documentary. I don't think it sounds that way with Triple H, where it's and NXT. I don't think Shawn Michaels is in Booker T's here, and I think part of when you talk about the new era, what's going on right now, I think part of it may be trusting good people with what they do. Like you're putting, and they did a lot of movement, but I think at a certain point, if Vince taught Michael Cole and they feel like Michael Cole is the guy from commentary right now, and this is true because I read a piece on worked on a piece on how it works. Michael Cole is working. He's like the direct like Michael Cole's essentially managing a lot of the people on the commentary team. Like they report to him, and then he reports to Triple H. And he's definitely not in people's ear, I think, but because he's been around for 25 plus years or whatever, he's got the knowledge. And I think a lot of that is what's happening now. Instead of I'm going to tell you what it is, we're going to put people in positions who know what it is, and they'll be able to help you further develop how you work within our system.
I think that's how most businesses work.
That is how a lot. It's very much like how it is. Yeah.
As a department head, and if you are the guy on commentary, then Michael Cole should be your department.
He should be the guy. Yeah,
and that's how a real business works. And let these people coach. Joey Savage in the chat. Vic Joseph is a sleeper to me.
I like Vic Joseph.
Is consistent, does work. Mm-hmm. I was not a fan of Booker T on commentary. I don't know if he's just grown on me.
He's gotten better. I think he's gotten better. He's been on it for a minute though.
Right.
I think they got to tell him to go the other way. You got to tone it down there, Book.
Right. I don't know, but I know now last week I immediately start saying Booker T's ad libs when Trick's song plays.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah, man.
Oh, yeah, man.
Oh, yeah, man. And if he doesn't say it the way that I want him to say it, I get mad.
You get mad?
I don't know what that means.
What you saying, man?
I was going to ask how long Tessitore was calling boxing. It's got to be 20 plus because I was going to say it's been years. Fight night.
Yeah, it's been years.
It's been like 20 since Fight Night came out.
But I think it's a really different job, right?
Because no. You're right. You're 100% right. I was just asking because it's still.
I think you get an element of telling the story of a live situation in front of your eyes to the people at home. But I think just like if you're watching a boxing match, you want the commentators to be drawing from that history and incorporating that in the regular speak. Like there's certain things you would say lingo wise in boxing that you wouldn't say pro wrestling and vice versa. So I think it's figuring out how to turn your commentary brain into incorporating 4 or 5 decades of WWE history with that. It's honestly the fact that he was able to pick it up in 2 months or a month and a half or whatever, and it'd be like it sounds like somebody regular. Like that's actually very commendable. But it also speaks to the time he's been doing the job.
It's been a miraculous turnaround.
I think they talked about Michael Cole. I mean, what's his name? What's the kicker? God dang, McAfee. Mm-hmm. McAfee and God dang it, the other commentator that was the old wrestler. I don't know why names are escaping me. Right
Corey Graves?
Yes. Yes. Graves and McAfee both spoke very, very highly of everything that they did well is because of Michael Cole.
Makes sense. He's the OG. Without a Jim Ross, he's kind of the guy. God, I'm looking at this clock. I don't want to take up. Where are we at with the New Day? What was this week? This week was what? Kofi had the match with Braun Breaker.
Yes.
They had a conversation recently. The one thing that I saw from the conversation, I don't know if it was one that happened last week. I forgot that Kofi had told Xavier that he could be the one calling the plays and calling the shots, and he has not really been able to. I mean, I'm Math. Usually, when I ask a question, I feel like I may still be.
You are on whose side in the divorce?
Right now, I'm Team Woods.
Dab, are you still neutral?
I'm still neutral because I need to see what the hell is going to happen right now. right, because I'm like what happened on was that SmackDown on Monday night? I can't remember. No, it was Monday night, Raw. Kofi takes the L. Although that was a great match, Kofi looked great.
It was a good match. Yeah.
It was a good match.
Reminded me why he had that belt on Monday. It was a great match. Of course, he lost or what have you. Then Jey Uso comes out and nothing significant happens. I know that they're building tension, so I received that. But I'm still neutral because I don't know what the hell. Somebody has to do something.
You gotta go with one of them on the weekend. Who you going with?
I'm going with Big E.
All right.
What about you, brother? Fan?
I'm still Xavier Woods.
Math, you Team Kofi?
I'm riding with Kofi.
Why?
Because I don't want to ride with Woods.
Xavier, ain't nobody come to see you, Otis.
Otis.
Nothing wrong with being Michelle Xavier.
I don't want to ride.
Michelle still has a check. She is still part of an iconic girl group. Xavier. Okay? You can do Broadway, Xavier. You can do the Fela play, Lion King, things like that.
Play your Genesis.
Exactly.
Play with you. Shout out. You was talking about Booker T.
You had that up, down belt. That should be good enough for you.
I missed out on the Harlem Heat figures the last time DDM was showing figures. I saw this at the Walmart today.
Oh yeah.
It comes with pause. It comes with
You ain't saying nothing.
A disciple. Matt, you know what's funny? I was in the something else chat. We was talking about Kev on stage, and I was literally in the Walmart when I saw this in the display. They didn't have Stevie Ray. It was just this one.
That was fire.
The last one I saw, it was the black.
That's
gear.
fire.
I never saw it. It's got a blue do-rag.
Yo, I throw the extra pieces to the disciple out. I'll throw that part out.
It's a whole torso. You see it?
Yeah, you don't need that shit.
I'm not buying any more to get the disciple. I gotta open this. I never opened them. Is the other thing. Anyway.
No, I open some of them.
I'm purposely building the most extensive women's wrestling action figure collection.
You already got the most expensive belt collection
and T-shirt.
Well, yeah, but I want all of it. Like I've got Naomi's, like I've got Sasha's WrestleMania. Like I've got a lot of I love Lady Wrestling, but this is the new Rio.
Show that.
She got the belt too.
This is when she beat Zelina at SummerSlam. Not SummerSlam, Backlash, when Zelina had her moment.
Oh, that's Puerto Rico, Rhea.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. But I got every action figure ever made for Bianca.
As you should.
You keep you don't do you open the package?
I don't open any of them. All of them stay in package.
Yeah, I got a whole big tub of just.
I got a whole bag upstairs. It's a whole bag.
A whole bag of yeah. He got a whole bag upstairs, brother. It's been there since.
They got gummy bears.
It is some anyway. It's the end of the show.
I do want a Sherry Martel, Joey. I don't know if they made one for her. I have to research.
That would be hard.
Yeah, Joey. Don't be suggesting shit that don't exist though.
I have WrestleMania China.
You need a 2024 2 Cold Scorpio. ECW,
that 1-2 code that you got that for free.
I got a Flash Funk upstairs. It's technically a Flash Funk figure. Shouts out to
niggas like here.
Suplex.
Shouts out to the folks at Suplex on South Street in Philly. It's the end of the show. Only one question I gotta ask. DDM, you got a Black Rass of the week?
Yes, I'm gonna give it to the ladies of Metaphor, Jakara, and Lash.
I like that. I really like seeing them on the TVs. Brother Fam?
I'm gonna go with Chase Coleman. If you get a chance, he is son of Caprice Coleman, voice of the Indies, voice of Ring On. You know what I mean? Y'all know him. But his son's been getting out there. He had one against one. They had Darius, man. Him and Darius had one.
They working.
Yeah. So Darius number 2.
Darius prime in my opinion.
You know what I mean?
Oh, sorry, y'all. I forgot. I just ordered the sensational cherry wine.
Yo, he is out of control.
Shout out to chat. He let y'all know y'all still poor. Y'all still poor.
Control. You already know who I'm going with. I'm going with my man Cabin.
Shout out
KEBM.
Shout out KEBM.
I'm going with Cabin. My man, the Jet.
That was good. That was a good conversation.
I still want to know how the Jet was jet lagged, but y'all keep going.
It's rough out there.
He working.
It's the white women.
He said, "No, go on it." He said, "Get ready for the white girls, them snow bunnies, because the Yamins is they're white belts." But he said them snow bunnies. I said no.
Them white girls.
Way. My Black Rass of the week, I already spoiled it earlier, Shelton Benjamin. My favorite moments when he threw Leo off the top of that rope. He won the match with like a fisherman's slam or some shit. It
was like a Tazplex.
I need, like, for real, the day I don't care about Fright Night Dynamite, the day he gets it to Takeshita, the day he gets like one of them jokers that could like move around the way he move around, which is not going to be easy. It's going to be a problem. Shelton Benjamin on his first AEW pay-per-view, problem.
Shout out to Mega Ran. Mega Ran wrote that theme.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Because people were hyped because it had the ain't no stopping me. Nah. Like they actually made it sound like it needed to sound. Salute. That's it for this week. Peace to Mimi. I know Mimi be busy out in the field. We out of here. DDM. Where can people find them social media if they want to get in contact with you?
At Dapper Damitis, also youtube.com/Secretary of Shade. Shout out to my cabinet members. I know I haven't been on in a week or two, but life's been lifing, so we'll be back next week. We are less than 3 weeks away from presidential election, folks.
Make sure if you can still register in the area, make sure you register. I know like the deadline is like now if it ain't already hit. Shout out, brother Fam.
Hey man, at Double Champ, yo, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Welcome to the, you know what I mean? Welcome, we are the champions, myfriend.com, you know what I mean? Champsports.net, you know what I mean?
Styling on him. Brother Maffini. All right then. Something else at Something Else Pod on all your social medias. Definitely after we're done, check out that Kevin Stage. Shout out the Stage Crew.
Kevin, the Stage is crazy.
Kev on Stage. Shout out Stage Crew. Peace to everybody in the chat again. Peace to Kev the Jet Knight. He'll be in Maple Leaf Pro. He'll be at New Japan. He'll be doing the damn Super Juniors. What else? Patreon.com/Black Rasslin. Pay that 1, pay that 10. It's all types of content over there. If you want Drewski, if you want Wrestle Dream, if you want random matches, if you want what some people think is the greatest Raw match ever between Shawn Michaels and John Cena from 2007, all that stuff is over there. More importantly, youtube.com/Black Rasslin. Make sure you subscribing, hitting that bell. Make sure you get all of our content because we got content hitting you all the time.
Hit that bell.
Spotify. Oh, there's the other thing. Spotify was jacked up. Spotify's back. So if you are a Spotify listener for the audio feed, everything's over there. Everywhere else, Apple Podcasts. Just Google us. We should be there. We'll be back next week as always. We're on the road to Halloween Havoc, road to Crown Jewel, road to Survivor Series. That's it. Once again, peace to Kevin Knight. Love y'all. Love the chat. Thank y'all for everything. We will catch y'all next week. And as always, Mr. Newjack, please take us out.
Like me or not, I didn't come up here to be liked. I came up here